What's up? What's up, my fabulous entrepreneurs? I'm here with my new bestie, Helen.
I'm so
What's up?
excited. I'm so happy to be here. I hope your internet holds up for you. And I am so excited we're together finally.
Finally, me too. Well, if you don't know who Helen is, you've probably been living under a rock because she is fabulous. So you're the mothership on TikTok, right?
Yes, the
She
mothership on
teaches
TikTok and Instagram.
and
I'm on
Instagram.
both.
All right. So make sure
Yes.
you follow her. You know what I love about Helen? She teaches you simple things to do. Like how I teach. Be like, now go here. Now do this. She
Yes.
breaks it down. And she doesn't make you feel like you should have known it. Like she's just
Right.
teaching you. Yeah. And she's a warrior too. She's amazing. Nothing
Yes.
stops this lady. Nothing
That's right. My
stops
hair,
her.
man, my hair's back. Even my
Yeah.
warrior after my warrior
Yes.
life.
Yes, she's got an incredible, amazing story. And I was following her before the story. And then I started watching her and I'd message her, tell her I'm praying for her. And then I'm like, Helen, would you be a speaker at the Women's Entrepreneur Retreat? She's like, oh my gosh. Well, first it was your son was getting married, so you couldn't come last year.
I know. It seems like a year is flying by, though.
You know?
It was,
And then this year you're like, yes. And now she's gonna
yes.
be one of our speakers.
I'm very excited. I cannot wait. I've never been to Jamaica, so that's like bonus for me. I know it's big time. And I have a very good dear friend who's from there, so I'm excited to see her country.
Oh
Yay.
yeah.
So that's going to be fun. And I guess my whole thing is just like being a part of this and being live in person is so exciting to me because I love to teach and I love to impart knowledge, but when I also love people and I love to meet new people and be with people on the spot. And I think learning in person is so much more valuable. I like to be a visual teacher. I'm a visual learner, so I teach visually. So I'm
Yeah.
really excited to join you.
Oh, it's going to be great. And next week we have a Zoom with all the business experts, and Helen's going to be there. So register. That's the link,
Oh yeah.
expertsinbiz.com. So you have to come and hang out with us. But right now, I asked my buddy here if she would just come on real quick and just give us, if we can manage just one tip, it'll probably be more than one, right? Because
Yeah, I
I know we
know.
love
I said, my gosh, how am I going to narrow it down? But seriously, I always like to start at the beginning because I was also a beginner with 0 followers. And having 1.1 million followers, people think you've been, you've got have had a community forever. And no, the fact is, I started with 0, just like you. So the point that I would like to, I guess, emphasize to you is that anybody can do this. Anybody can start. And it's so simple. It's really, and my hot take is think of your phone as your imaginary friend. You never want to think about, oh, so many people are going to see this, I'm embarrassed, or who's going to be listening to me and they're going to be judging me. Nope. It's you and your phone and an intimate moment. And that's how I think of it. My phone is literally my imaginary friend. Even to this day, I never think I'm talking to that many people when I make my videos. So
Wait,
that's
did
really
you
the, that's
name it? Did you name it? Did you name your
no,
imaginary?
I haven't named my phone. She's just my bestie. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I
That's
guess I
great.
should name it.
You should,
I
like we
should
name
name it.
cars, like you should name your
Yeah, I
phone,
guess I should. I'm gonna give
Like
that some
where's
thought. Maybe
Jenny?
by the Zoom, I will announce the name of my phone. So come to
All
the
right.
Zoom and you'll hear the name of my phone.
I love it.
It'll be an exclusive.
Oh, there you go. If you want exclusive of the phone naming, you must come to the Zoom.
Come to the Zoom.
And that's a really great tip though, because sometimes we're so focused on, oh my gosh, what if this, what if that? And really, if you just think of it as your bestie like that, like you're not going to care if you mess up in front of your bestie, right?
No, you
That's
don't
just the
care.
way it is. Yeah.
You
Oh
don't
my gosh.
care. And it's just like, and still to this day, when I make tutorials, and sometimes I'll have like lots of requests for the same tutorial, and I still say the same thing. I still think the same thing about myself, that I'm making this for one person. That's it. And I think that's why I've always been able to be myself and I don't have to feel, I never feel intimidated. When I go on stage and speak to people, it's actually more intimidating than making videos because now I'm seeing the people in real life. And actually, the funny thing is I thought, wow, this is really going to be terrifying. But what happened to me is my online persona has made me more confident in person. So it has really helped me across the board in my career and just this whole experience of putting myself out there has changed so many things in my life. So it hasn't just been about having a platform. It's more than that. And that's why I encourage you to do it. You just don't know what's going to come of it. It's so exciting.
Well, what's the best thing that has come about from having a following, let's say, or from getting
I'm going to
yourself
tell
out
you.
there? Tell me,
No,
tell
I'm going to tell. Believe it or not, I have one, and it's going to seem a little odd because I don't think you would think about all these other things that you might be thinking of. But for me, I've been in production. I do commercials for people who don't know. I direct TV commercials, and I was a producer my whole life. So I've been in production scenarios, production meetings, and now because of my age and being transparent, I'm 63 years old. When I enter production meetings, and it's now a lot of Zoom calls, there's lots of young people. Production is a very, very, very young industry. So when I come on the calls, I think visually I'm already judged. They don't know necessarily who I am, but people are already making a judgment visually. We all do it. We kind of assess like who's in the call. Oh, this person looks like the creative person, whatever. You make assessments. And I know that what they think of me, but the minute somebody says, oh, and so let's ask our TikTok expert because Helen here has 1.1 million followers. The entire tone and the way I'm treated changes in that meeting. And it is I have goosebumps talking about it because it's happened to me again and again. And so it's changed how I'm viewed in my career. And that is probably my most special thing that's happened because it's given me value in a place where I might be, quote, aging out. I hate to even use that term, but
oh my
I'm
gosh.
just, so it's been a major change for me. I'm now working on projects for social media instead of just the traditional work I was doing before. And I just kind of love it.
Kind of love it. I think you totally love
I,
it.
I do love it. I do
Yeah.
love it.
Well, so it's opened up new doors for you that you might not have even
Yes.
known that you were
Ab-
interested in, maybe.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And when I was just I know you're asking like where my travels are, but I was just in Croatia shooting Clairol commercials. Like that is something that would have never come my way because I'm shooting the social media stuff. So as a director, I don't have a reel that supports hair commercials because that's
Right.
just not what my background is. So no one would hire me for that. But because I have this presence on social media and I'm an expert in social media, they bring me in for the social media portion of the shoot, and I just love it. I would have never had that opportunity before. So I do really think that it has changed the game for me, and I'm so appreciative. So you just don't know how it's going to change. It doesn't mean you have to think, oh, I have to make money making TikToks or I have to make money doing Instagram reels. It comes in different ways. It doesn't necessarily, it's not a direct A to B a lot of the times. So
Right. Oh my gosh. And
that's
can I ask, was TikTok the first social media platform that you started with,
I
or
was
were you a
on.
Facebook girl, or?
Oh yeah, I was on as soon as Facebook was opened up to beyond college kids, I was on it. As soon as Instagram started, I had my crew people telling me, "Oh, there's this thing called Instagram." I'm like, "What is it?" I was immediately on it. So I was one of the first people my age on all these platforms because I'm in an industry with young people. So I tend to be very interested in the technology and what's the next thing. And so I embrace it pretty quickly. So I was doing Instagram pretty hardcore before the pandemic. And then the pandemic is what triggered me to try TikTok just because I had extra time to explore and
That
learn.
must have been when I met you then, because I think it was like early on. And I was like,
Yeah,
who is this fabulous lady who's like pointing to it? And
sure.
you're using like stylist. And
The
you're like, oh my,
stylist, my
yeah.
stylist. And I only have
You're
a lot of people think I use my stylist to all day long, but no, I use my stylist. It's in my pouch here. I use it to teach only.
oh,
I
it's
don't use it all day. It's
like
my
your
teaching
magic
tool.
wand.
It
Yeah,
is. It's my
I
magic
love
wand.
it. And that opened the door for you. Can we touch on? We have a few more minutes if it's okay. Like
Hmm.
you had
Yeah.
something like crazy happen. I guess we call it crazy. And when I watched it, I thought, oh my gosh, and I was praying so hard for you with what was going through. But I believe that sometimes things happen to us because we help others. I believe that
Yes.
you helped other people because now I tell people if they're having like eye things, like I tell them, like, go get checked for this. Like what happened to you,
Yes.
I think can
It's
make a huge impact for others' lives.
It is the craziest thing, and I'd be happy to talk about it because it's so important. I think what I was really, and we made some funny TikToks about it, my daughter and I, because I was at the height of things like my TikTok was growing, my career, my things were happening for me production wise because of TikTok. And then suddenly I started to go blind very quickly in a 3-week period, and they couldn't figure out why. But I was documenting it with my phone every day before I even posted about it. I was recording every day. Well, I'm at an eye doctor today because that's just how I roll. I document my life on my social media. So 3 weeks into it, we found out that I had lymphoma, and that's what was causing the blindness. So I went into chemo and all of radiation very quickly, and my audience came with me on the ride, and it was very. I didn't expect to do that. I didn't plan it. I didn't think, oh, now I'm going to share every day. It was just something that happened. I shared what was going on with people who were concerned about me, and then I went from there, and I said, "We're coming. You're coming on this ride with me." So still have people that reach out and say, "Oh, my mom's going through this now, and I just went through all your old videos, and I wanted to share them with her." So I think I made an impact that direction. But how it helped me was staying on the platform and pushing through it and working while I was going through chemo. It gave me focus, and so I always knew there was going to be an end, and I'd be looking back on it. It never was, woe is me, now I have to go through this, poor me. I was always thinking, what am I going to wear to chemo so I can make a video about it? And
I love
what am I going to talk about? Like, how am I going to make this humor about going to, my treatments? So I don't know, I just kept going, and I knew I would be looking back on it. I knew. I always knew that it would not
well,
be something.
mindset is a big
Mindset.
part, and you had such a positive mindset
Did.
around it. Like,
I
very.
did. And I was laughing when I was crying too, by the way. You've seen me if you know those videos. Like sometimes it was rough getting spinal injections and I'd be kind of weeping into my phone, but laughing about something, you know what I mean? I'm a cry laugher. Like I have to
Yeah.
make a joke to get myself through the cry. So
Yes. Yeah. And you were inspiration. Well, you still are an inspiration to others,
you.
going through medical things, because like I've had a lot, like I have 3 brain injuries. I've had a lot of medical stuff. Okay. And I never stopped. And that's what
No.
was drawn, that's one thing I love about you too, is you never stopped. And I think so many people might have something very tiny happen
I know.
and we're something huge and you kept going. And I think this can show people, okay, so this little hiccup, tiny thing happens in your life,
Yes.
right? Like you can
Yes.
still work your business. You can still
Yes.
show up on social
It
media.
didn't absolutely. I didn't let it define me. So it was one of those things where people will say, "Oh, now I'm like a cancer survivor." I still don't think about it myself as a cancer survivor. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I guess I did have cancer, so I guess you could say I am." But I don't think of myself that way with that label. And I'm working
Right.
with someone now. This is just a funny little story. I'm working with a creative director now on a project in 2 weeks. And we start talking about something, and I worked with him a year ago, so he knew me like right after I came out of chemo. My hair was really pixie short, and I worked with him. And so I said something about like, "Oh yeah, I just got back from my post-cancer trip. We finally, and he goes, "Cancer? When did you have cancer?" He worked with me after I finished chemo and was not aware. That's how unimportant it was to me. It wasn't like everybody I worked with knew. It was
Right.
just, oh, if it came up, somebody maybe would know, but it didn't define me. So to people I worked with intimately at that time had no idea. Anyway, I just think that's amazing because I just found that out today. He said, "What? I didn't know you had cancer." I was like, "Oh my God, yes." So
Yes. Oh my gosh. And that's the key point, everyone. I hope you're taking notes. Don't let your circumstances define you, because you were
no.
truly meant for more, and
Mhm.
look at Helen. I mean, oh my gosh. And I bought the Lumi because you did a thing for it.
All right. I did. I did. I worked with Lumi for a while too. I'm telling you, it's been Lumi's great, by the way. I'm going to
Yeah.
give a little plug there, but it works. I have to try the new one. They have the antiperspirant now that does control sweat as well. I haven't tried the new formula. So there
I'll
you go.
have to check it out. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, I am so blessed that you could pop on with me today
Thank
and
you.
share
This is
this. Oh my
fun.
gosh. Yeah. And we'll
And
have a
so I'm
party.
looking forward to our Zoom next week, and I'm going to be thinking about the names for my phone, so I'll be ready
Yeah.
for you.
Oh, maybe people have suggestions. Anyone have a suggestion for a name for her phone? How about
Oh, let's do that. Let's do that.
should it be
Let's
a boy
bring it into
or
the
a girl?
chat.
Is your
I
bestie a
know.
Yeah, I know. We'll come up with gender
Oh,
neutral names then, guys.
I
We
think
don't
that's better. I think gender neutral is the way to go.
Oh, so this is the
So
link,
fun.
expertsinbiz.com. You must register so we can send you the Zoom link. And there's also going to be
Okay.
a little area in there. You can tell us if there's something specific you want us to address, because we're formulating our tips. There's a whole bunch of us, like 6 or 7 of us that are going to be on,
Amazing.
just pouring into you. And it's better if you join live so you can ask us questions, but we're happy to send you the replay. So any
Absolutely. I
final
can't wait to
thoughts
see you
before
there. Come and see us and hang with us because we are fun.
we are very fun. So if you're a grouchy pants, you probably should come so you won't be
You should
grouchy anymore.
come.
But we
You
don't want
won't be
your grouchy
grouchy.
it off on us.
That's not even possible. When I'm around people that are grouchy, I have to turn it around. So let's do that.
Yeah, sounds good. All right,
Okay.
my friend. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. See you
Good
next
seeing
week.
you, Erica. See you next
You
week.
too. Bye.
Bye, everybody.